What's going on, boys and girls? Today I want to talk about exercising kind of in general, but for anybody out there who maybe you're not exercising right now, you would like to begin, but you don't know where to start. It all seems confusing and frustrating. It's okay. We all get there. Even I get there sometimes. It's okay. I'm going to try to clear some things up today. First and foremost, when I talk about exercise with most people, especially people who don't like to do it or you're not doing it, I want to talk about it in a way that will remind you that it was a time when we were kids and we just played. And our playing was our movement. We talk about exercise, but exercise essentially is nothing more than moving. And most of us, we sit too much, we're adults, we don't move enough, so we need to move more. Yes, exercise is what we may call it as adults, but essentially it should feel more like play. Because if it feels more like work, we're most likely not going to do it because most of us are already working too much, right? So we want to do things we don't hate. We want to have an attitude that is positive, and I would like you to think of it and see it through the eyes of a child and think of it like play. So when most people think of exercise, most people think that it falls into one or two categories. We've kind of got like what we call cardio on one side and strength training on the other. Cardio, most people think of it as walking or jogging or running or swimming or biking or treadmill or elliptical or sometimes playing a sport or maybe even doing manual labor kind of fits into this cardio category. Some of that may be true, some of it's not true. Over here we've got strength training. Strength training sometimes is known as resistance training. Some people lift weights. Some people don't lift weights at all and they just use their body weight and do push-ups and pull-ups. All of that, same category. All of this stuff I just described is basically just movement. They all have a lot in common with each other. They're different, but they're also kind of the same when you think of it through the eyes of a child. It's all moving and playing. What if you could find any activity, it doesn't matter what it is, any activity that gets you moving that you enjoy? That's kind of the point of it. Because if you do things you hate, you're not going to do it very long. If you do things you like, you're most likely to do it more and more often. We need to move to be healthy. Another thing I want to touch on is we need to walk more. We have these legs. Arguably, walking is the best thing that our bodies were built to do, and most of us do not do it enough. We have phones now, and fancy watches that will count our steps for us. There's no magical number in steps, but most people just need to move more because we got to know as Americans, we sit way too much, way more than we need to. Even most people that consider themselves active, we sit a lot. We have to because of working and sitting in cars and commuting and watching Netflix and all that stuff. But essentially, we're just talking about movement. Do you see what I'm saying? It's how we think of it is important, especially if you want to have a positive effect on your life for the years to come. You've got to think of it in a different way. Cardio is not necessarily better than strength training. Strength training is not necessarily better than cardio. People make arguments, and sometimes I do too, but movement is movement. I want to get people walking a lot more, first and foremost, but after that, yes, strength training might be the magic pill, if there ever was one. Doing a really good squat that is challenging, doing something where you push and pull with your upper body. I mean, I'm talking about just 3 exercises once or twice a week could work some pretty serious magic if you choose the right exercise and you do it with the right amount of intensity and perfect form. And that takes work. What exercises? That could be a long conversation. I've got lots of videos on that. I'll talk more about that in the future, but that stuff's pretty potent and it doesn't take a lot of time. A lot of people also think that they need to exercise for, say, an hour. And I don't know where these numbers come from. Cardio, we're going to do 35 or 45 minutes, or strength training, going to do an hour. And you don't need to work out that long. You can, absolutely, but most of us are busy. Some people have 2 jobs. Some people have families and other commitments. Squeezing in an hour workout a day may be hard, especially if you have changed clothes and commute and yada, yada, yada. You see what I'm saying? You would need to lower the bar. Make it simple. A lot of times, now granted, I work from home and I work as a personal trainer and I have a gym at my house, but I also keep my workouts sometimes 10, 20 minutes maximum. That's about all I do on every day of the week. Now granted, I do something every single day because, right, remember, moving is important. If it's that good for us, movement, then we need to do something every single day. Most days I would rather just walk, but 2 or 3 days a week I do strength training. But I'm just moving. You see what I'm saying? I just want you to start moving. If you're trying to lose body fat, especially a significant amount of body fat, I've said this before and I want you to hear me. You need to focus on what you're eating more than exercise, especially in the beginning. because a lot of exercise isn't going to help you that much if you don't change what you're eating and drinking. Most people are overweight because they eat and drink too many calories every single day. So the thing you need to do and concentrate on is eating fewer calories every single day than you are right now. So if you're at a certain weight, say you're 200 pounds right now and you'd like to lose some body fat, you're going to need to eat and drink fewer calories today and every day in the future until you get that number down. Because when you eat and drink fewer calories, your body starts getting rid of body fat without exercise. Exercise will help, but exercise requires time and energy. And sometimes we just don't have that. If you've got available energy, I would like to see people focus on food. But this is for people who are trying to lose weight, which is most people, but it's not everybody. In general, we just need to get back talking about exercise again. We need to move. We need to move every single day, and you need to find things that you like. And you do not have to exercise long. If all you were doing is strength training, you just needed that, you didn't need to lose any weight, 5 minutes doing one exercise, and you did that 6 or 7 days a week, I could give you a workout routine that would actually produce results, but you'd have to commit to it. Everything's going to require equipment, and you can't just do it for a little while, 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months, and then stop. You need to do it for a long time. But anyway, I'm going to stop. Another video got long, but today is an important video for people who need to hear this. And if you're listening, I appreciate you. I'm going to have more in the future. If you have any questions, write me. I'm here to help, and I'll be back soon.